pockets and burnt a hole in his sock. Yeah, sort of set him right on fire. I looked on out of the window. I started in counting phone poles going by at the rate of 4 to the 7th power. I put 2 and 2 together, added 12 and carried 5, come up with 22,000 telephone poles an hour. I looked at Earl and his eyes was wide, his lip was curled and his leg was fried. His hands was froze to the wheel like a tongue to a sled in the middle of a blizzard. I says, Earl, I'm not the type to complain, but the time has come for me to explain that if you don't apply some brakes real soon, they're gonna have to pick us up with a stick and a spoon. Well, Earl reared back, cocked his leg, stepped down as hard as he could on the brake, and the pedal went clean to the floor. And it stayed right there on the floor. He says, sort of like stepping on a plum. Well, from there on down, it was just not real pretty. It was Hairpin County and Switchback City. One of them looked like a can full of worms. Another one looked like malaria germs. And right in the middle of the whole dang show is a real nice tunnel, now wouldn't you know? Sign says clearance to the 12-foot line, but the chickens was stacked to 13.9. Well, we shot that tunnel at 110 like gas through a funnel and eggs through a hen. We took that top row of chickens off slicker to scum off a Louisiana swamp. Went down and around and around and down. We run out of ground at the edge of town. Bashed on into the side of a feed store in downtown Pagosa Springs.
To get more out of your land, you need to get more out of your equipment. John Deere riding mowers from RDO Equipment Company give you the flexibility to handle more tasks with easy-to-use attachments. Mow, mulch, haul, and even clear snow in a machine that can handle more, no matter the season. With more horsepower on select models, you'll be crushing chores easier than ever. Stop by your nearest RDO store and get in the seat of a mower that will help you do more today.
Tired of unexpected equipment failures eating into your production time? Manufacturing teams using MaintainX are seeing real results. 33% less unplanned downtime and 32% lower maintenance costs. MaintainX puts real-time data in your technicians' hands, preventing breakdowns before they happen. Get up and running in just 3 weeks and join over 10,000 frontline teams maximizing their uptime with MaintainX. Start your free trial at maintainx.com/Pandora.
Well, if you're one of the millions who own one of them gas-drinking, piston-clanking, air-polluting, smoke-belching four-wheel buggies from Detroit City, then pay attention. I'm about to sing your song, son. Well, now, I'm not a man to point a judge, very willing to hold a grudge, but I think it's time I said me a few choice words. All about that demon automobile, the metal monster with the polyglass wheels, the end result of the dream of Henry Ford. Well, now I've got a car that's mine alone, to be in the finance company owned, a ready-made pile of manufactured grief. And if I ain't out of gas in a pouring rain, I'm a-changing a flat in a hurricane. I once spent 3 days lost on the clover leaf. Well, it ain't just the smoke and the traffic jam that makes me the bitter fool I am, but this four-wheel buggy is $1 me to death. For gas and oils and fluids and grease and wires and tires and antifreeze and them accessories, well, honey, that's something else. Well, you can get stereo tape and a color TV, get a backseat bar and reclining seats, and just pay once a month like you do your rent. Well, I figured it up, and over a period of time, this $4,000 car of mine cost $14,000.99. Well, now, Lord, Mr. Ford, I just wish that you could see what your simple horseless carriage has become. Well, it seems your contribution to man, to say the least, got a little out of hand. Well, Lord, Mr. Ford, what have you done? Now, the average American father and mother own one whole about half a car's a trick to drive, don't you? But the thing that amazes me, I guess, is the way we measure a man's success by the kind of an automobile he can afford to buy. Well, now it's red light, green light, traffic cop, right turn, no turn, must turn, stop. Get out the credit card, honey, we're out of gas. Well, now all the cars place end to end would reach to the moon and back again. There'd probably be some poor fool pull out the pants. Well, now how I yearn for the good old days without that carbon dioxide haze hanging over the roar of the interstate. Well, if the Lord that made the moon and the stars would have meant for me, and you'd have cars, he'd have seen that we was all born with a parking space. Lord, Mr. Ford, I just wish that you could see what your simple horseless carriage has become. Well, it seems your contribution to man, to say the least, got a little out of hand. Well, Lord, Mr. Ford, what have you done? Come away with me, Lucille, in my smoking, choking automobile.
I was on the outskirts of a little southern town, trying to reach my destination before the sun went down. The old CB was blaring away on Channel 19 when there came a little boy's voice on the radio line. And he said, "Breaker 19, is anyone there? Come on, black truckers, and talk to Teddy Bear." Well, I keyed the mic and I said, "You got it, Teddy Bear." And the little boy's voice came back on the air. "Appreciate the break. Who we got on that end?" I told him my handle, and then he began. "Now, I'm not supposed to bother you fellas out there. Mom says you're busy and for me to stay off the air. But you see, I get lonely and it helps to talk. 'Cause that's about all I can do. I'm crippled and I can't walk." I came back and told him to fire up that mic, and I'd talk to him as long as he liked. "This was my dad's radio," the little boy said. "But I guess it's mine and Mom's now, because my daddy's dead. Dad had a wreck about a month ago. He was trying to get home in the blinding snow. Mom has to work now to make ends meet, and I'm not much help with my two crippled feet. She says not to worry, that we'll make it all right. But I hear her crying sometimes late at night. You know, there's one thing I want more than anything else to see. Oh, I know you guys are too busy to bother with me. But, you see, my dad used to take me for rides when he was home. But I guess that's all over now since my daddy's gone. Not one breaker came on the old CB as that little crippled boy talked with me. I tried hard to swallow a lump that just wouldn't stay down, as I thought about my boy back in Greenville town. Dad was going to take Mom and me with him later on this year. Well, I remember him saying, "Someday this old truck will be yours, Teddy Bear." But I know I'll never get to ride an 18-wheeler again. But this old base will keep me in touch with all my trucker friends. Teddy Bear's going to back on out now and leave you alone, because it's about time for Mom to come home. But you give me a shout when you're passing through. I'll sure be happy to come back to you. Well, I came back and I said, "Before you go, 1010, what's your home 20, little CB friend?" Well, he gave me his address. I didn't once hesitate, because this hot load of freight is just going to have to wait. I turned that truck around on a dime and headed straight for Jackson Street, 229. And as I rounded the corner, oh, I got one heck of a shock. 18-wheelers were lined up for 3 city blocks. Well, I guess every driver for miles around had caught Teddy Bear's call. And that little crippled boy was having a ball. For as fast as one driver would carry him in, another would carry him to his truck and take off again. Well, you better believe I took my turn at riding Teddy Bear. And then I carried him back in and put him down in his chair. And buddy, if I never live to see happiness again, I want you to know I saw it that day in the face of that little man. We took up a collection for him before his mama got home, and each driver said goodbye, and then they were all gone. He shook my hand with a mile-long grin and said, "So long, Tucker. I'll catch you again." Well, I hit that interstate with tears in my eyes. And I turned on the radio and I got another surprise. Breaker 19 came a voice on the air. Just one word of thanks from Mama Teddy Bear. We wish each and every one a special prayer for you, 'cause you just made my little boy's dream come true. I'll sign off now before I start to cry. May God ride with you. 10-4, and goodbye.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia. Mountain mama, take me home, country roads. All my memories gather round her, miner's lady, stranger to blue water. Dark and dusty, painted on the sky, misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia. Mountain mama, take me home, country roads. I hear her voice in the morning hours. She calls me. The radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia. Mountain mama, take me home, country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia. Mountain mama, take me home, country roads, take me home, country roads, take me home, country roads.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's the #1 hit of the season. Simparica Trio, Seralana, Moxidectin, and Pyrantel Chewable tablets has protected 15 million dogs and counting against 3 categories of parasites with 1 monthly chew.
This drug class has been associated with neurological side effects, including seizures. Use with caution in dogs with or without a history of these disorders. See full prescribing info at SimparicatRio.com.
Don't just protect, triple protect. Ask your vet for
down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal. He was in a bind because he was way behind and he was willing to make a deal. When he came across this young man sawing on a fiddle and playing it hot, and the devil jumped up on a hickory stump and said, boy, let me tell you what. I guess you didn't know it, but I'm a fiddle player too. And if you'd care to take a dare, I'll make a bet with you. Now you play pretty good fiddle, boy, but give the devil his due. I bet a fiddle of gold against your soul because I think I'm better than you. The boy said, my name's Johnny, and it might be a sin, but I'll take your bet you're gonna regret, cause I'm the best as ever been. Johnny, rosin up your bow and play your fiddle hard, cause hell's broke loose in Georgia and the devil deals the cards. And if you win, you get this shiny fiddle made of gold, but if you lose, the devil gets your soul. Opened up his case and he said, I'll start this show, and fire flew from his fingertips as he rosined up his bow. And he pulled the bow across the strings and it made an evil hiss. And then a band of demons joined in and it sounded something like this. Johnny said, well, you're pretty good, old son, but sit down in that chair right there and let me show you how it's done. Fire on the mountain, run, boys, run. The devil's in the house of the rising sun. Chicken in the bread pan, picking out dough. Granny, does your dog bite? No child, no. The devil bowed his head because he knew that he'd been beat. And he laid that golden fiddle on the ground at Johnny's feet. Johnny said, devil, just come on back if you ever want to try again. I done told you once, you son of a bitch, I'm the best as ever been. He played Fire on the Mountain, run, boys, run. Devil's in the house of the rising sun. The chicken in the bread pan, picking out dough. Granny, when you don't bite, no child, no.
Of the burning sand. He had emeralds and rubies just dripping off of him, had a ring on every finger of his hand. He wore a big old turban wrapped around his head, scimitar by his side. And every evening about midnight he'd jump on his camel named Clyde and ride silently through the night to the Sultan's tent, where he'd secretly meet with Fatima of the Seven Veils, swinging his grade A #1 U.S. choice government-inspected dancer in the Sultan's whole harem, because him and her had a thing going. Yeah, and they'd been carrying on for some time now behind the Sultan's back, and you could hear him talk to his camel as he rode out across the dunes. His voice would cut through the still night desert air, and he'd say, which is Arabic for whoa, baby. And Clyde'd say, well, he brought that camel to a screeching halt in the rear of Fatima's tent. Jumped off Clyde, snuck around the corner, into the tent he went. There he saw Fatima laying on a zebra skin rug, with rings on her fingers and bells on her toes and bone in her nose, ho ho. There she was, friends, lying there in all her radiant beauty, eating on a raisin, grape, apricot, pomegranate, bowl of chitlins, 2 bananas, 3 candy bars, sipping on an ice cold Coca-Cola, listening to her transistor and singing, does your chewing gum lose its flavor? Ahab walked up to her, looked down into her eyes, and tenderly he said, which is Arabic for, let's twist again like we did last summer, baby. She looked up at him from off the rug, flapped them big old eyelashes, and she said, round and around and around and around and around and around and around. All of a sudden, the Sultan walked in. Ahab knew that this was the end. Him and Fatima were caught by surprise, and the Sultan had fire flashing out of his eyes. Well, the Sultan charged at Ahab, intending to make a dent in his head. But he fled with Fatima, and out of the tent they went. They jumped on Clyde, started to ride, cutting out across the sand, with the Sultan's whole army in hot pursuit. On and on they ran. Well, to make a long story short, they got away, because there wasn't no animal alive what could keep up with Clyde once he got started, because he was the fastest steed on the whole desert, babies. Anyway, they made it across the border, where Ahab hocked all his rubies and emeralds and bought him a swinging little split-level pad, and they lived happily ever after. And that's the story about Ahab the Arab, the sheik of the burning sand. Ahab the Arab, the sheik of the burning sand.
Every morning at the mine, you could see him arrive. He stood 6'6", weighed 245, kind of broad at the shoulder, narrow at the hip, and everybody knew you didn't give no lip to Big John. Big John, Big John, Big Bad John, Big John. Nobody seemed to know where John called home. He just drifted into town and stayed all alone. Didn't say much, kind of quiet and shy, but if you spoke at all, you just said hi to Big John. Somebody said he came from New Orleans, where he got in a fight over a Cajun queen, and a crashing blow from a huge right hand sent a Louisiana fellow to the promised land, Big John. Big John, Big John, Big Bad John, Big John. Then came the day at the bottom of the mine when a timber cracked and men started crying. Miners were praying, hearts beat fast, and everybody thought they'd breathe their last except John. Through the dust and the smoke of this man-made hell walked a giant of a man the miners knew well. Grabbed a sagging timber, gave out with a groan, and like a giant oak tree just stood there alone, Big John. Big John, Big John, Big Bad John, Big John. With all his strength, he gave a mighty shove. Then a miner yelled out, "There's a light up above!" And 20 men scrambled from a would-be grave. And now there's only one left down there to save Big John. With Jackson Timbers, they started back down and came that rumble way down on the ground, and the smoke and gas belched out of that mine. Everybody knew it was the end of the line for Big John. Big John, Big John, Big Bad John, Big John. Now they never reopened that worthless pit. They just placed a marble stand in front of it. These few words are written on that stand. At the bottom of this mine lies one hell of a man, Big John. Big John, Big John, Big Bad John, Big John, Big John, Big John, Big John.
To get more out of your land, you need to get more out of your equipment. John Deere riding mowers from RDO Equipment Company give you the flexibility to handle more tasks with easy-to-use attachments. Mow, mulch, haul, and even clear snow in a machine that can handle more, no matter the season. With more horsepower on select models, you'll be crushing chores easier than ever. Stop by your nearest RDO store and get in the seat of a mower that will help you do more today.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 40% your first year at lifelock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
An old cowboy went riding out one dark and windy day. Up on a ridge he rested as he went along his way, when all at once a mighty herd of red-eyed cows he saw plowing through the ragged skies and up a cloudy draw. Their brands were still on fire and their hooves were made of steel. Their horns were black and shiny and their hot breath he could feel. A bolt of fear went through him as they thundered through the sky, for he saw the riders coming hard, and he heard their mournful cry. Yippee-i-oh, yippee-i-ay, ghost riders in the sky. Their faces gaunt, their eyes are blurred, their shirts all soaked with sweat. He's riding hard to catch that herd, but he ain't caught 'em yet. 'Cause they've got to ride forever on that range up in the sky. All the horses snorting fire. As they ride on, hear their cry. As the rider floated on by him, he heard one call his name. If you want to save your soul from hell riding on our range, then cowboy, change your ways. Today are with us you will ride, trying to catch the devil's herd across these endless skies. Yippee-i-oh, yippee-i-ay. Ghost riders in the sky. Ghost riders in the sky. Riders in the sky.
I was thumbing from Montgomery, had my guitar on my back, when a stranger stopped beside me in an antique Cadillac. He was dressed like 1950, half drunk and hollow-eyed. He said, "It's a long walk to Nashville, would you like to ride, son?" I sat down in the front seat. He turned on the radio, and them sad old songs coming out of them speakers was solid country gold. Then I noticed the stranger was ghost white pale when he asked me for a light, and I knew there was something strange about this ride. He said, "Drifter, can you make folks cry when you play and sing? Have you paid your dues? Can you moan the blues? Can you bend them guitar strings?" He said, "Boy, can you make folks feel what you feel inside? 'Cause if you're big star bound, let me warn you, it's a long, hard ride." Then he cried just south of Nashville, and he turned that car around. He said, "This is where you get off, boy, 'cause I'm going back to Alabama." As I stepped out of that Cadillac, I said, "Mister, many thanks." He said, "You don't have to call me Mister. The whole world called me Hank." He said, "Drifter, can you make folks cry when you play and sing? Have you paid your dues? Can you moan the blues? Can you bend them guitar strings?" He said, "Lord, can you make folks feel what you feel inside? But if you're big star bound, let me warn you, it's a long, hard ride." He said, "Drifter, can you make folks cry when you play and sing? Have you paid your dues? Can you moan the blues? Can you bend them guitar strings?" He said, "Boy, can you make folks feel what you feel inside? But if you're big star bound, let me warn you, it's a long, hard ride. If you're big star bound, let me warn you, it's a long, hard ride." You know, you got a lot of competition out there now, son. It ain't like it was in the 50s when I was here. I mean, you got Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, Guy Clark, Billy Joe Schaefer, David Allen Cole, and you even got my son.
fried bacon and eggs works, or well, I don't know, is your eggs gonna go bad or something?
Well, there's always been groups of people that never could see eye to eye. But I always thought if they ever had a chance to sit down and talk face to face, they might realize they got a lot in common. Well, I was sitting in a coffee shop, just having a cup to pass the time, swapping rodeo stories with this old cowboy friend of mine, when some motorcycle riders started snickering in the back and started poking fun at my friend's hat. And one old boy said, "Hey, Tex, where'd you park your horse?" My friend just pulled his hat down low, but they couldn't be ignored. One husky fella said, "I think I'll rip that hat right off your head." That's when my friend turned around, and this is what he said. "You ride a black tornado across the western sky, roping old blue norther and milk it till it's dry. Bulldog the Mississippi, and its ears down flat, long before you take this cowboy's hat." Now, partner, this old hat's better left alone. See, it used to be my daddy's, but last year he passed on. My nephew skinned the rattler that makes up this old hat band, but back in '69 he died in Vietnam. Now the eagle feather was given to me by an Indian friend of mine, but someone ran him down somewhere around that Arizona line, and a real special lady gave me this hat pin, but I don't know if I'll ever see her again. You ride a black tornado across the western sky, roping old blue norther and milk it till it's dry. Bulldog the Mississippi, then its ears down flat, long before you take this cowboy's hat. Now, if your leather jacket means to you what this hat means to me, then I guess we understand each other and we'll just let it be. But if you still think it's funny, man, you got my back up against the wall, and if you touch my hat, you're gonna have to fight us all. Well, right then I caught a little sadness in that gang leader's eyes, and he turned back to the others, and they all just kind of shuffled on outside. But when my friend turned back towards me, I noticed his old hat brim, well, it was turned up in a big old Texas grin. You ride a black tornado across the western sky, roping old blue norther and milk it till it's dry. Bulldog the Mississippi, and its ears down flat, long before you take this cowboy's hat.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Choose to show up. with the bold styling of the Mazda CX-30.
I wake up.
Here. Come on.
Well, I looked at Jay and I said, "Hey, did you hear what I just heard?" He nodded his head and his face got red and he never said a word. We both reached for the mic thinking we might just answer that 1-9 call when that CB device come back to life just a lisping wall to wall. And that unusual voice came on again saying,
"Break 1-9 again. This is your one and only CB Savage. Mercy sakes, good bodies. Could I please have your 20? I'd settle for a big 10-4. Mercy, mercy. How about a mile post? Listen, you can't keep your hammers down forever, you know. Speak to me, pedal pumpers. How about it?"
Well, the box went dead and we looked straight ahead and didn't say a word at all. We had 4 in the chair and the door back there, but nobody'd answer that call. A while went by and Jay and I we started breathing again. We figured this stranger was plumb out of range when all at once he'd come back in. And it was that same odd voice saying,
Breakers, breakers, any takers? Hi, it's me again. I'm in your chair and I love it there. Say, you truckers really know how to take a person for a ride. Speak to me, you diesel demons. I'd love to get to know your handles. CB Savage here. Come on, come on.
I grabbed the mic and I held it tight and my hand began to sweat. I looked at Jay and he was grinning away like a big old bird-fed cat. So I put down the talker and turned up the squawker and got a good grip on the wheel. I decided the trucker that answered this duck sure as heck wasn't gonna be me. About that time, that weird voice came back on again, saying,
Yo, breakaroo. Hi, you Jim Dandy Jimmy Jammers, you. Do I ever have a surprise for you?
If you'll listen real close, you'll find my voice is changing. And if you'll start checking your rear views, you'll find you got company. 5 plain white smokies dressing up for a ticket writing party. Y'all were so busy copying my put-on, you didn't notice your little convoy was being infiltrated. You can start shutting them down anytime now. This is your CB Savage, the Smoky's friend. Wall to wall and treetop tall. That is all. Bye-bye.
Hey, well, all right, sir, here we go there, and what are you going to give for? I'm at 25 to give 30 now, 5. Would it be to $5 another $40 on making a voter now, 5. Would it be to $5 another $50 on making a bitch now, 5. There was a boy in Arkansas who wouldn't listen to his ma when she told him that he should go to school. He'd sneak away in the afternoon, take a little walk, then pretty soon you'd find him at the local auction barn. He'd stand and listen carefully, then pretty soon he began to see how the auctioneer could talk so rapidly. He said, oh my, it's do or die, I've got to learn that auction cry, gotta make my mark and be an auctioneer. $25 bidder now, $30, 30, will they give me 30, make it 30, bid it a bomb, $30, will they give me 30, hooter, bid it a $30 bid. $30 bidder now, 35, will they give me 35 to make it 35 to bid it a 35, who would have bid it at a $35 bid? As time went on, he did his best and all could see he didn't jest, he practiced calling bids both night and day. His pap would find him behind the barn just working up an awful storm as he tried to imitate the auctioneer. Then his pap said, son, we just can't stand to have a mediocre man selling things at auction using our good name. I'll send you off to auction school, then you'll be nobody's fool. You can take your place among the best. $35 bidder now, $40, 40, will they give me 40, make it a 40, bid it on a $40, will they give me 40, hooter, bid it a $40 bid. $40 bidder now, 45, will they give me 45, to make it a 45, bid it a 45, who would have bid it at a $45 bid? So from that boy who went to school, there grew a man who played it cool. He came back home a full-fledged auctioneer. And the people came from miles around just to hear him make that rhythmic sound that filled their hearts with such a happy cheer. His fame spread out from shore to shore. He had all he could do and more. Had to buy a plane to get around. Now he's the top in all the land. Let's pause and give that man a hand. He's the best of all the auctioneers. $45 bidder now, $50, 50, will they give me 50, make it 50, bid it upon a $50, will they give me 50, who's the $50 bill? $50 bidder now, 55, will they give me 55, to make it a 55, to bid the 55, I sold that all for the $50 bill. Hey, well, all right, sir, open the gate and let them out and walk them, boy. Here we come a lot of number 29 in, what are they gonna get for him? I'm at 25 to get 30 now, 5, will they bid it a 5, another $40 on the main voter now, 5, will they bid it a 5, make it a 5, yes, 5, now $60 on the, will they give me 60 now, 5.
To get more out of your land, you need to get more out of your equipment. John Deere riding mowers from RDO Equipment Company give you the flexibility to handle more tasks with easy-to-use attachments. Mow, mulch, snow in a machine that can handle more, no matter the season. With more horsepower on select models, you'll be crushing chores easier than ever. Stop by your nearest RDO store and get in the seat of a mower that will help you do more today.
At the Home Depot, we have all your appliance answers. And with Spring Black Friday savings, you can get up to 40% off, plus free delivery on select brands like GE Profile. Simplify your day and get the GE Profile all-in-one washer-dryer with a quick 90 minutes wash and dry time. Now available in multiple color options. And a fridge with hands-free autofill that fills your cup perfectly while you prep for your day. Shop Spring Black Friday savings and get free delivery on appliance purchases of $998 or more right now at the Home Depot. Offer valid April 9th through April 29th. US only. See store online for details.
I used to ride this 18-wheeler before they painted lines. Never made much money, cause I couldn't make no time. Used to be a running battle between old Smokey and me. But now I got a 6-foot Shakespeare, me and old CB. Tonight I got the front door, can't always have that rocking chair. Pigpen's got the back door closed, just told me on there. I just checked out the westbound, Roadhog said she's clean. Looked like a money-making run from me and old CB. Now Ace, the blue-eyed Indian, still runs with single drive. Old single drive, he's a ratchet jaw, but he keeps the night alive. And Jolly Jack, that beaver nuts checking covers on the seat. We looking for a red Pinto, me and old CB. There goes Circle City Peddler. Boy, he's getting fat. He makes his turn at Derby Town. I couldn't live like that. The chicken coop is open, so it's DOT. I appreciate that info, Cisco, me and old CB. The California Devil, now he's down at marker 25. He just hollered, breaker, breaker, them bushes are alive. And comb your hair, they're taking pictures down at exit 23. We'll give them a great big 5-5 smile, me and old CB. Now look at that four-wheel barebait, just blew off my back door. Old Smokey's gonna get him. That's big down hard. Now Hawkeye's had that hammer down since Nashville, Tennessee. He just saved some green stamps thanks to me and old CB. 8-Ball from Shaky City, he's talking to a bass. He's coming on to a Cupid doll, he say, you sound like a little pretty bass. Wish he'd give me a breaker, I'd tell her to go on down to 3. She might be running single, like me and old CB. Windy City Charlie, he's down at marker 9. I just checked my 20, I ain't running far behind. Me and this 18-wheeler, we just about home free. Made damn good time, didn't pay one fine, me and old CB. Oh yeah, it's a big 7-4 there. Yes, that is the Continental Cowboy. He's headed on down the road to his home 20. He gonna get into the old sleeper and do his own thing.
Well, I left Kentucky back in 49 and went to Detroit working on assembly line. The first year they had me putting wheels on Cadillac. Every day I'd watch them beauties roll by, and sometimes I'd hang my head and cry, 'cause I always wanted me one that was long and black. One day I devised myself a plan that should be the envy of most any man. I'd sneak it out of there in a lunchbox in my hand. Now, getting caught meant getting fired, but I figured I'd have it all by the time I retired. I'd have me a car worth at least $100 grand. I'd get it one piece at a time, and it wouldn't cost me a dime. You'll know it's me when I come through your town. I'm gonna ride around in style, I'm gonna drive everybody wild, 'cause I'll have the only one there is around. So the very next day when I punched in with my big lunchbox and with help from my friend, I left that day with a lunchbox full of gear.
I've never considered myself a thief, but GM wouldn't miss just one little piece, especially if I strung it out over several years. The first day I got me a fuel pump, and the next day I got me an engine and a trunk, then I got me a transmission and all the chrome. The little things I could get in my big lunchbox, like nuts and bolts and all four shocks, but the big stuff we snuck out my buddy's mobile home. Now up to now my plan went all right till we tried to put it all together one night, and that's when we noticed that something was definitely wrong. The transmission was a 53 and the motor turned out to be a 73, and when we tried to put in the bolts, all the holes were gone. So we drilled it out so that it would fit, and with a little bit of help from an adapter kit, we had that engine running just like a song. Now the headlights, there was another sight. We had two on the left and one on the right, but when we pulled out the switch, all three of them come on. The back end looked kind of funny too, but we put it together, and when we got through, well, that's when we noticed that we only had one tail fin. About that time, my wife walked out, and I could see in her eyes that she had her doubts, but she opened the door and said, "Honey, take me for a spin." So we drove uptown just to get the tags, and I headed to ride on down Main Drag. I could hear everybody laughing for blocks around. But up there at the courthouse, they didn't laugh, 'cause to type it up, it took the whole staff, and when they got through, the title weighed 60 pounds. I got it one piece at a time, and it didn't cost me a dime. You'll know it's me when I come through your town. I'm gonna ride around in style, I'm gonna drive everybody wild, 'cause I'll have the only one there is around. Yeah, Red Rider, this is the Cottonmouth in the Psycho Billy Cadillac, come on. This is the Cottonmouth, and negatory on the cost of this machine there, Red Rider. You might say I went right up to the factory and picked it up. It's cheaper that way. What model is it? Well, it's a 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59 automobile. It's a 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66.
Every summer down to Mississippi to visit my granny and her antebellum wardrobe. I'd run barefooted all day long, climbing trees free as a song. One day I happened to catch myself a squirrel. Well, I stuffed him down in an old shoebox and punched a couple holes in the top. When Sunday came, I snuck him into church. I was sitting way back in the very last pew, showing him to my good buddy Hugh, when that squirrel got loose and went totally berserk. Well, what happened next is hard to tell. Some thought it was